What's up, guide hunters? Keep the door locked has 20 different anomalies, and knowing what each one does can be the difference between surviving the night and getting an instant game over. Today I will go through every anomaly and explain exactly how you can recognize it and what you need to do when it appears. Let's start with the anomalies you can usually identify through the security camera. The translucent guest looks like a normal visitor, except their body appears see-through on the camera. If you notice this, do not open the door. Lock it, and keep the anomaly outside. The doppelganger is another one you need to watch for in the hallway. You will see a second copy of the visitor slumped against the wall beside them. If there are two versions of the same visitor, you know something is wrong, so lock the door. The dead doppelganger has a similar idea, but this time you can see a dead version of the visitor in the hallway near the stairs. Check the camera carefully before opening the door, and if you spot the body, lock the door. Now we have the window seeker, which works a little differently. Instead of relying only on what you see, you will hear moans, knocks, scuffling, or scratching coming from outside the window. When you notice these sounds, open the curtains and look at the creature. The door breaker is much more direct. A gaunt white creature runs toward your door and starts trying to break in. When the game tells you to hide, get underneath the bed and stay there until the creature leaves. You also need to watch the ceiling for spiders. They appear with large egg sacs on their backs, and eventually those sacs can explode. Make sure you are not standing underneath them when this happens, because you can take sanity damage. The Shadow Man is another anomaly that appears inside your room. You will see a shadowy figure standing in a corner and watching you. When you spot him, shine your flashlight directly at him until he disappears. The knife killer appears at your door carrying a knife. If this anomaly appears during your day, make sure you turn off the light before you go to sleep, because this prevents the threat from entering your room. The Silent Lady is a tall, gaunt woman who silently stares at you from the door. Instead of simply opening or locking the door, use the security cameras and look at her to trigger a jump scare that removes the threat. The vent ghost can also enter your room. A disheveled man drops from the vent and crawls around the room. So when you see him, get onto the bed and stay there until he leaves through the vent. Then, there is the darkness, which starts when a pair of hands covers your eyes and transports you into a dark void. You will need to follow the lights ahead of you until you reach the exit and return to the normal room. The bathroom monster is particularly dangerous when you are sleeping alone. This creature lives inside the bathroom, so make sure at least one innocent resident is sleeping in your room before you go to bed. Not every unusual encounter is something you should immediately reject, though. The cake is a lie is a good example. If you see a single piece of cake on a trolley outside your door, open the door and eat it to recover sanity. The hacked laptop creates another problem because it blocks your security cameras with a message saying that your laptop has been hacked. You need to pay $300 to decode it and regain access to the cameras. Now let's get back to the visitors. Spasming limbs is exactly what it sounds like. The visitor arrives with their limbs violently spasming and flailing around, making the anomaly easy to recognize. Lock the door when you see it. Long limbs is another visual clue you should learn. The visitor has unusually long arms, so check their body carefully through the security camera. If the arms look abnormally extended, lock the door. The neck craner is even more obvious once you know what you are looking for. The visitor arrives with their neck bent backward while staring toward the ceiling. When you see this unnatural pose, lock the door. The room hider is different because it appears somewhere inside your room instead of waiting outside the door. Look around carefully and find the hidden figure, then look directly at it to trigger the jump scare and make it leave. The headbanger appears when a visitor repeatedly smashes their head against your door. When the quick time event appears, complete it to deal with the encounter and survive. Finally, there is the Roach King. This giant cockroach appears when you have pizza and asks you for some. you should let it inside and sacrifice 5 slices of pizza, because refusing it causes a swarm of normal cockroaches to enter your room. So, when you are playing Keep the Door Locked, remember that not every anomaly follows the same rule. Some need you to lock the door, while others require you to use your flashlight, hide under the bed, check the window, complete a quick time event, or perform another specific action. The biggest thing you can do is take your time and learn the visual and audio clues. Check the entire security camera frame, pay attention to unusual sounds, and always follow the instructions when a special encounter begins. Once you recognize these 20 anomalies, your chances of surviving longer runs become much better. If this anomaly guide helped you survive Keep the Door Locked, hit that like button and subscribe for more Roblox horror guides. Good luck spotting every anomaly, and I will see you in the next one.